often wondered about the story of Samson, a man endowed with power to single-handedly kill 1,000 Philistines, a judge in Israel, for 20 years. He must have been very righteous and wise to have received these things. Is it possible then that the famed Delilah could have duped such a great man into giving up his godly gift? According to the lecture on faith Paul gives in Hebrews 11, this might not be so, because he includes Samson in a list of people with great faith and great power who willingly endured tribulation and even torture so that they might, in his words, receive a better resurrection. This resurrection is the celestial resurrection Paul mentions in Ephesians, when he compares the glory of celestial resurrected bodies to that of the sun. He also mentions lesser glories, comparing other resurrected bodies to that of the moon, and others even less so, like that of far away distant stars, which vary greatly in their light or illumination or glory. So what could have possibly induced Samson to sacrifice his endowment from the Lord? Well, if we read in between the lines, one of the things we discover is that in doing so, Samson had even greater power to deliver his people from the Philistines in a way he never could have before. So not only might this have led to a higher exaltation for him personally, but it was also for the good of his people. Is it possible that tribulations can serve as glorious a purpose in our lives when faced willingly? One thing our family has learned in overcoming OCD is that there's a difference between pain and suffering. Now, pain is a part of life, and if we look at the writings of Paul, not only is it necessary, but it can even be something we can rejoice in when viewed with the proper perspective. But when we view pain as something to be avoided at all costs, that it's wrong or that it's bad, this is what leads to unnecessary suffering. For example, imagine walking down a country path. It's smooth and level, but all of a sudden you are faced with this giant vertical cliff. There's no way around it. The only way forward is up. Now, this will take more strength than you have. Your muscles will strain at the exertion. You will get cuts and bruises along the way, but when you reach the top, you will be stronger and more capable of facing an even greater obstacle in the future. Can you believe some people actually do this for fun? Now, I'm not saying that pain or all opposition in life is fun, but this is what it looks like to have a healthy perspective when we encounter resistance in our lives. Now, imagine railing at that cliff. Imagine sitting there and starving to death until it moves out of your way, or beating your head against the rocks, or worst of all, turning back. This is what it's like to add unnecessary suffering on top of painful experiences in life. And as the saying goes, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. Brothers and sisters, we're here experiencing this mortal life because we chose to move forward, and that requires ascending to greater heights. Christ, of course, ascended to the greatest height, and he faced the greatest mountain, and he climbed it while carrying each and every person in creation with him up from the depths of hell to the heights of salvation and exaltation if we let him. He marked the path. He paved the way for us. Each and every one of us is too weak and wounded to do it on our own. And luckily, none of us has to do it alone. The next time you experience something painful in your life, consider asking if this might be an opportunity for you and those you love. but know that you will reach your breaking point. You will want to give up. You might be about to fall to your destruction. But it's in that very moment that a heavenly hand will reach down, lift you up, offer you rest, and a view you could have never imagined.